Okay.
Alright, so, you can see here, this is Venice Beach Boardwalk. This is probably one of the most busy parts of LA, and probably one of the most notorious places for people, just crazy people, getting into really close quarters and trying to walk in one direction. It's really difficult to walk down the boardwalk and not get trampled on or have to dodge people a lot. But I use sort of the same technique that I used in New York City when I used to walk there. And it turns out that if you walk in a specific way that conveys confidence, then everybody just basically gets out of your way. And it's really surprising to me the first time that I did it, because I was able to walk down the street and people were just like complying, like just getting out of my way and letting me do what I wanted to do. And I realized for my entire life I was basically forcing people to treat me like I was submissive. And like instead of when I was walking down the street, instead of coming across like I was a confident guy who wasn't going to move, who was like had a mission and who wanted to go this way and was going to go this way, I came across as a guy who, if they just held their ground, I would move, and I did. So I started testing my walk, and sort of the way to walk that I ended up getting across with, that ended up being probably the best thing for me to do, and that actually attracted the most women, ended up being the same walk that allowed me to walk into oncoming foot traffic and have everybody part in front of me. And there's a few different things that you have to know how to do. One is that it's really difficult to do it with your sunglasses on, and the reason why is because no one can see where I'm looking. So if I have my sunglasses on, you can't really tell if I'm looking at you or looking somewhere else, and so people just naturally will guess you're looking some other place, or maybe they guess that you're looking directly ahead, but they don't know if you're looking at them and you see them. So that's a problem. So usually I do it without sunglasses on in the first place. That just helps me do it a little bit better. Another is that if you take wide strides, then people will think that you are less likely to get out of the way. Now, less likely to move. If you take wider strides than they do, almost always they will move out of your way. Now, there's 3 exceptions for this. People who are walking the same direction as you, as in they're in front of you walking this way, they don't see you, so they can't turn around. The other exception is children. I never like hold my ground with their kids. I always walk out of the way, or pregnant women, you know. Or someone pushing a stroller like that, I just don't do it. And then really old people, I don't stand my ground against them either. I just move out of the way, 'cause that's just kind of a dick move. So essentially what I do is I take wide strides so that my heel touches the ground first, as far away as it possibly can from my body. Now I have flip-flops on right now, and normally I did this originally with these shoes that are kind of like Cuban heel shoes with a little bit of a heel on the back, and when I walked it made a noise. And I think a lot of the reason why guys don't do this kind of walk is for 2 reasons. One is, whenever you walk this way, it's easier for you to fall down, as in you're not looking at the ground constantly, because you can't be. So you have to look at the ground and then just trust that you're not going to trip over something. The second thing, as you're walking this way and you are, you're sort of aggressing, or being the aggressor and the aggressive one in an interaction, a lot of people have a hard time staying confident and continuing forward because they don't want to impose, or they don't want to be looked at. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, that guys don't want to be stared at. So it's important that you keep your back as straight as possible, your shoulders back and down, your head up as high as it can be, like someone's pulling a string that's holding your head, so you're tall, really tall. And then you're walking with wide strides. Now if I take short steps, then people will not move out of my way. And I can demonstrate that in a little bit here. But if I take long strides, everybody gets out of my way, and every woman will look at me. And sometimes guys will look at you too, and sometimes that can invite some unwanted attention. But you have to be used to getting stared at, because attractive people, men and women both, are stared at a lot. And you're going to have to get used to getting stared at. So try it out, and I'll show you a demonstration here of just a side view of demonstration real quick. We can come over here. So this is wrong. So I'll show you wrong. Short steps like this, sort of looking down at the ground. That's wrong. So I'll do a longer walk. Like that. Now it may seem harmless, but it's wrong. Now this is right. So the difference is, my head's up, I'm not looking at the ground, my steps are as wide as possible, and I'm looking directly forward as I'm going. My heel's touching the ground first, here. Right there, just like that, wide. Legs fully extended. I have committed fully to this step whenever I step there. And that's probably one of the most important parts of this process. Commit to the step. So many guys are afraid to commit. Let it swing out and commit to the step, like that. So try it out, and comment below and let me know what you think.